All right, guys. I am so tired. I am so tired. We'll do another episode of How Ugly Is My Face. I'm sorry, I missed yesterday. I spent a lot of time yesterday with building. I didn't have CAD available because I haven't used CAD in a while. I haven't used Blender. I haven't used Maya. But I decided to build a maquette, as they say in French, a maquette or a mock version of the 3D printable house. Imagine if we had a 3D printer that could print stucco. Have you guys heard of stucco? It is one of the most amazing things ever built, and it's pretty much flame resistant. Stucco. If we could make a 3D printer that 3D printed stucco, oh boy, would that revolutionize the industry of building. And so if we could have an outer shell of house, like a house that is stucco, that would be cool. That would be cool to build the things that I'm talking about. But anyway, all we talk is money. All we talk is money. It's like bees on a honey. It's the Sauce Cast, baby. Oh man, that dude needs a wife very fast. Find one. That guy needs a wife. He needs to be he said he wants to send people to reprogramming camps or something like that. Well, he needs a wife. That's what I'm talking about. If you have a wife, you know your nutsack is going to be in line, and he is just wild. He's a wild. Out where the wild things are. Oh, hearts on fire and crazy dreams. Anyway, imagine the scenario here, right? One of the things that I like about Sosnick, Adam Sosnick, is he talks a lot about money. And he is right on a lot of stuff. And one of the things that I really like when he talks about money is he goes and he says, save that money. And I'm like, yeah, brother, save that money. And then he doesn't like the idea of universal basic income. Okay, imagine this scenario, okay? You're living in the inner city and your dad is a strong alpha dog. And the way he brings money home is he sells drugs. Because that's how you're successful in the inner cities. You sell dope, you sell drugs, and the marijuana. You got the big bills. But then you're also a drunk. So you come home and you're very nasty to the kids and to the wife. And so you are a successful businessman. I know how to do my business. And your wife is probably a drug addict, because a lot of them tend to be in those areas. So what if you're a child, right? What if you're a child? You're on your own. You're basically on your own. If you get any education, because, again, your dad is rich, so he sends you to get educated at school, whatever school is available in the inner cities. But anyway, so you're already kind of privileged, because rich dad may be a twat, like he may be a horrible father, but at the very least, he's got the money. He gives you the stuff that you need. You maybe have that nice connection to the internet, flat screen TV, whatever. But you, in that position, are going to become basically the apple falls pretty close to the tree. So you're going to end up being a drug giver, dispenser, if you will. But what if you don't want that life? What if you want something else? How could universal basic income free you? Well, first of all, what we know about the government is most of the time, it's not necessarily evil. It's just incompetent, mismanaged. So when they did that whole thing about giving universal basic income during the pandemic, the problem was that the people who needed the money, they didn't get the money. So could they save that money? All we talk is money. All we talk is money. It's like bees on. It's so catchy, isn't it? It's the Sauce Cast, baby. How many of those kids got the $1,000 that they could have used to build their own business, for instance? You know, you did get kind of educated, whatever you got. You have access to the internet. You could have built your YouTube channel or whatever. You could have built something, whatever it is. What about a stucco 3D printer? That's kind of valuable. But you can't do it because guess who? Who controls the money in the household? Big alpha dog guy who sells drugs. Maybe beats the ever-loving crap out of his children. And the wife can't do anything about it because she's a druggie, and so she's like this most of the day. And that's the problem right there. We have a big problem. We don't understand how to manage our inventory. We don't understand how to allocate funds. And so when those checks went out, they went to the leader of the household. The mom didn't get the $1,000. Only the dad. The dad got $3,000. One for himself, one for the wife, and one for the kids. Maybe, if we allocated the funds correctly, so that you have like a government bank taking care of the funds, and it allocates it and it gives it directly to the right people, maybe that's better. So maybe it's not that UBI is evil. It is that it is stupidly used. And every time they decide to allocate funds, they do it in a bad way, and therefore it defeats the purpose of UBI, right? Imagine if a homeless person had UBI. Well, then people wouldn't have to give them stuff. They could just use the UBI to pay for their food, and their living situation could be handled, for instance, by what I talked about. We could have these cities built by robots and managed by robots that nobody needs to do anything about. Obviously, you will have regulations so that if you are homeless and that thing, you can't leave the homeless thing unless you do certain things to get yourself out of there and start working in the regular society and become like somebody who could be working at a store, working at a restaurant, and so it's not that UBI is evil. It's just evil the way that they've used it in the past. It's not constructive and well thought out. So then the people who understand money and how all that works are like, yeah, we're just throwing money away because Big Alpha Dog got all the money, and the people who were supposed to get the money didn't get it. And that is similar to what happens in war situations around the world. Sometimes you're giving your hard-earned money to save, like I used to send money to Oxfam. Yeah. And then you realize that the bad people in the country get all the money, and you're not really helping the children. So you're better off going there and building a hospital and then actually helping children directly in Africa, for instance, or whatever it is that they used to do, instead of just sending money and expecting other people to do the work, but they're not doing the work, so the corruption and all that stuff happens. So anyway, those are my thoughts on UBI and how you could do it better so that the people that actually want to get out of their situation can actually get out of their situation. But, we keep giving money to the alpha dogs. And only the alpha dogs save that money, so then all the other people can never save that money. Think about it. Thanks for watching another episode of How Ugly and Distorted Is My Face. Is it getting better? I discovered a cool thing about microlesion therapy. It is that fat cells or zombie cells or a bunch of the bad cells that create cancers and stuff, they move around. So although you don't see much happening over here, I've been noticing the rest of my body is getting better and leaner. And so maybe, just maybe, the microlesion therapy has not plateaued. It's just taking care of other problems. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.